What's happening, people? I hope you're all well. So, Liam Smith and Chris Eubank Jr. are going to be having their rematch, and that's going to be taking place. I've got Boxrec up right now, so I'm just going to have a quick look. That is going to be taking place on the 17th of June this year. So, 17th of June, Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank Jr. 2. I'm not going to go too much in depth right now, but I am going to just say that if Chris Eubank Jr. loses this fight, it's going to be a long road back. And as for Liam Smith, well, he could have somewhat of an Indian summer if he could get a win here again. That will be decisive. Obviously, as you all know, Chris Eubank Jr. lost that fight in spectacular fashion by knockout in the 4th round. Now, apparently there was an elbow in there. I need to watch that to say for definite myself. I'm not going to go too much in depth with regards to the tactical breakdowns and all of that, but what I will say is this. Chris Eubank Jr. did not look his usual confident self, his aura. He didn't exude confidence like he normally does. I know he was talking confident, but sometimes people can be saying one thing, but the energy that they're giving off is the opposite. So I don't think Chris Eubank Jr. is the same with regards to his confidence at this moment in time. He looked a bit subdued to me. So that's something I noticed. Now with regards to this fight, very, very quick summarized tactical breakdown. Liam Smith's just got to go out there and do what he did in the first fight. There's no other way Liam Smith fights. That's the way he fights, and it was effective. Chris Eubank Jr., he's not a come forward fighter. You saw how he struggled to come forward against George Groves. So Chris Eubank Jr. really needs to do what he usually does, get on that back foot. And I actually think Chris Eubank Jr. needs to fight more how he fought before he was trained by Roy Jones Jr. I'm not convinced by the partnership of Chris Eubank Jr. and Roy Jones Jr. That's not to say Chris Eubank Jr. is not a good fighter. That's not to say Roy Jones Jr. won't be a good coach. But I'm not convinced by that partnership. Sometimes it just doesn't work. You can have a good fighter, a good trainer, it just doesn't work. So I'm not convinced. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I'm not convinced. I think Chris Eubank Jr.'s older style was more effective. Now, obviously, you got to add more wrinkles to your game, and especially as you get older, you can't rely on your athleticism. Chris Eubank Jr. being 33 years old, but I still think his older style was more effective. He doesn't look as good to me as he looked in the past. So I think Chris Eubank Jr. could benefit from going back to his old style. Anyway, and just the last point I want to make is that Liam Smith looks very confident. And I'm not surprised by that. I'm sure a lot of you are not surprised by that. And Chris Eubank Jr., key thing in this fight, because Chris Eubank Jr. was having success against Liam Smith, especially in that 3rd round. Chris Eubank Jr.'s chin, that is the elephant in the room in this fight. Is Chris Eubank Jr.'s punch resistance deteriorating? Did the fight that never happened ruin Chris Eubank Jr.'s punch resistance? There's a question right there. Did Chris Eubank Jr. trying to get down to, was it 158, ruin his punch resistance? Because we're talking about a guy here who, let's have a look. I've just got the box back up. In 2017, he was fighting at super middleweight, that's 168. And then he was trying to make, not that long ago, 158. Did that ruin his punch resistance? How many punches? People say Chris Eubank Jr.'s chin is solid. I'm not saying it's not, but how many punches has he been in with apart from George Groves, who he arguably went down with a jab in that fight, and Gary O'Sullivan. Gary O'Sullivan. So you got Gary O'Sullivan, you've got George Groves. What other punches has he been in with? Anyway, you guys let me know, because how proven was Chris Eubank Jr.'s chin more something that was being advertised in reality, I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying, is that the case? Was his chin advertised as something it never was? Let me know. Anyway, what do you guys make of the fight? Who do you think is going to win this fight? And I should hopefully make another video closer to the fight. Let me know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video, and I'll see you on the next video.